Season, A Letter to the Future is an oddly shaped game. While the first 30 minutes feel like you're about to embark on a journey, the journey is only one stop over. There's a small lead and a small lead, but you'll spend most of the game in a lush valley on the verge of a catastrophic flood. In this short but worthwhile adventure, you are a young woman tasked with documenting the world before season's end. In a world where a season can last hundreds of years, your goal is to start in the isolated village of Cairo, record the end of the season in an album, and send it to a museum box, the world's equivalent of the Library of Congress, for safekeeping. The game begins with wonderful world building as your mother helps you prepare a magical pendant that will protect you. Memory has to be sacrificed for the locket to work, not just physical evidence of the memory you add to the potion, but the memory itself. As the farewell ceremony continues, your mother will comment that a hole seems to have opened up in her consciousness where a memory once existed. It's a great idea, and I'm excited to see what else the future holds for me in the world of seasons. The game mostly lives up to its initial promises, but is sometimes held back by how little of the world it manages to show. The museum vault is said to be at the edge of the earth, but our tour ended shortly after our first stop. You have a tape recorder and a camera to help with the mission. Season's world is filled with simple pastel hues, and I love finding interesting angles on its eye-catching landmarks. I snapped a dozen Polaroids of the picturesque crumbling bridge before I was satisfied. They can be organized into a scrapbook, along with important documents you find along the way and sounds you stop recording. Grazing goats and cows, a huge well that sounds like a monster locked at the bottom, flowers that capture memories. All this can be recorded and saved in your memory diary. After about an hour, you will reach Tyne Valley, a beautiful green village that is being evacuated. When the season ends, it will return, giving your character a short time to explore before the opportunity is gone forever. When you travel, you meet those few people who have not traveled before. One of my favorite stories involves a mother and son still deciding what to bring from their sprawling orchard to their new little house in town. Knowing the size of the apartment in the city they would be moving to, the mother discovered an area the size of a yard and tried to cram as many of her belongings into the room as possible. She wants you to help her decide what to bring, and I love hearing the stories behind each item. Elsewhere, an elderly artist loses her spark, but is rejuvenated by the knowledge of your project's prospects and the knowledge that they will be preserved if you photograph her work. These little personal stories are the best part of the season. When you're looking for these decals, you have a bike that can help speed up the process. The bike is a useful tool, but its controls can be annoying. I like the tactile feel of its pedaling method, alternating left and right triggers for more resistance when going uphill and less resistance when sliding down the other side. But two-wheeled vehicles are often suspended on the side of the road or on barely visible obstacles, so you'll often jump off the bike, turn around, and get back on. It hurts to drive to explore. The trip is also hampered by the difficulty of analyzing the world while driving. Despite spending several hours in the valley, I discovered many important sights for the first time when local children showed me around. The nooks and crannies he sees are so well hidden by the game's rich flora that I can't see them. I had trouble finding these routes again after the tour. Fortunately, some intersections have wooden signs to point you in the right direction. However, the world can be difficult to navigate if you try to strike out on your own. The obvious paths are too obvious, the hidden paths are too hidden, and you go down the same paths over and over again. Once you find a way to go, the story is over before it begins. At the beginning of the game, it looks like your character is about to go on a quest, but the journey ends after stopping. In this way, the structure of the season is like spring. You don't know it's there until it's gone. Score 3, 5/5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and support my channel.